There we go. Okay. So just take a few moments there, just have a strap handy. But for the first few moments of class, we're really just going to take time to close our eyes, practice listening inward a little bit, becoming present. And so, as we do that in our practice tonight, and as you may do at other times during your day, short meditations and so on, here and there, it just helps us become present in the moment, but also in our day to day lives to be more responsive when we're listening outward. So just try to find a place here of effortless ease. Just let the momentum of your energy begin to slow. We'll take that lens from the outside world to our inside experience. And let's begin by softening the facial expression, tiny muscles around each eye, the jaw, the shoulders too. And allow any distractions of the outside world just to fade into the distance. We're just choosing here to consciously relax, softening from the surface to deep within. Let's take a few, maybe 5 or 6 nice full breaths, breathing in through the nostrils and either breathing out with a little bit of a sigh through an open mouth or breathing out through the nostrils, your choice. Nice, full, deep, rich breaths. Engaging that ujjayi breathing if you like. Couple more, really taking your time with this process. And then allow the breath to just find its own natural rhythm. And check in and just find what is true for you right now, connecting with yourself physically, emotionally. Why might you be coming to your practice today, this evening? Check in and see what your heart and your mind and your body are asking for. And just resolve to give yourself that in your practice tonight. I may be making some suggestions that might agree with you, and they might not. So just feel free to really listen inward and give yourself modifications or extensions to poses, or just hold a particular pose a little longer if you like. Really listen in tonight in our Sunday evening practice. Feeling that deep connection with yourself. Noticing whatever you happen to be feeling or experiencing tonight with complete acceptance. You might like to set an intention for the day or the week ahead or beyond. Noticing again what's in your heart, what's most important to you in this present moment. And then we'll just linger here for a few more moments, a few more breaths. Noticing the places in your body that meet the surface beneath you. Feel those contact points, whether you're seated or lying down. The back of your skull, across your shoulder blades, across your hips, backs of the calves and the heels, backs of the arms, the hands. Feel that grounding effect of the earth beneath you. And just linger here for another moment with that grounding sensation, connecting to the here and now. If you're not already lying down, I'll invite you just to make your way onto your spine. So come into a supine position, that strap handy. To begin, we'll take a full body stretch. Reach the arms overhead, reach the toes in the opposite direction. Breathe in and then release as you exhale, soften. Try that a couple of times. And we'll make our way into a banana shape. So walk the shoulder blades over to the right, then walk the heels over to the right as well, making yourself into that crescent or banana shape. You can stay as you are, or you can, with both hips connected to the earth, you can cross your left ankle over your right, but you can encircle your left wrist with your right fingertips if you like. So both hips and both shoulder blades are still rounded here. We'll take a few breaths, stretching out that lateral right side. Last breath on this side. And then just release. Maybe the shoulder blades walk back to center first and then bring the heels back long. Then you can take the shoulder blades, walk them over to the left. Walk the heels over to the left. Reach the arms overhead. Maybe take that wrist with the left fingers and maybe cross the right ankle over the left. You don't need to. And you don't have to do exactly what you did on the other side. We're not always symmetrical. We might be working with different areas of tension or tightness. So just find what feels good on this side. A couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, release back to neutral spine, lengthen the legs down from each hip. And then let's draw the knees into the chest. Place a hand on each knee and then draw some circles with the knees. Just guide them with the hands, massaging the low back as you do so. Another one in that direction. And then change directions. And then we'll find stillness. Let's flex the feet and unroll your strap. We'll place the balls of the feet around the center of your strap. Loop it around the balls of the feet, one end of the strap in each hand, and then lengthen the legs up towards the sky. Just use the strap here to draw your legs a little closer to your torso. You can have a bend in the knees. If you flex a little bit through in the ankles there, drawing your toes towards your shins, you'll find a little more sensation in the hamstrings. And then let's be nice and long in the spine. So you might tuck your chin just a little bit to find length in the upper spine. And then imagine you're reaching long in the opposite direction with your tailbone. And we'll hold here, or you can find some movement, massaging the low back as you circle the legs. Your choice. Taking those circles in the opposite direction if you are moving. And then we'll find stillness for another breath here. Reach long with your tailbone, tuck your chin, and draw the legs a little closer to your torso. Let's bend the knees slightly, release the left leg long on your mat. Or you can ground the sole of the left foot, keeping that knee bent. That right leg reaches up to the sky. We'll take 2 breaths here, drawing the right leg a little bit closer to our torso. And we'll support here. We'll take hold of both ends of the strap in the right hand and support the leg as it just slowly softens out to the right. And just find a counterbalance here, counterweight with that left arm either extended from your shoulder, maybe pressing the left palm into the left hip bone. You can close your eyes and take a few breaths, just soften into this posture. And if it feels too much with the strap and the leg lengthened, you can bend the knee and just hold that right knee as you take the leg out to the side with the knee bent. One more breath. And then use your core here, use the strap, draw that leg up to center. Take the left hand to the straps and then lower the leg over to the left. And rather than making this about a spinal twist, so you want to keep that, yeah, rather than making it about a spinal twist, you want to make it more concentrated in the area of that IT band. So you might feel this in that nice wide band of fascia that runs from your right hip right down the outside of the leg. So if you like, you could hook your right thumb there in your right hip crease and draw the hip back a little bit as your leg falls to the left. And then let's draw the leg up to center and find half happy baby. Use your strap for an assist here. You could use the strap as well as your hand, where your hand wants to come to the ankle or the foot. The left leg is just long, resting on your mat, or maybe knees bent. Release tension in that right hip flexor with your next exhale. Last breath. And then we'll bring the right, bend the left knee and bring the right foot out of the strap, left foot in. Just exchange the feet. Find a comfortable place for that right leg to rest. Extend your left leg up. Draw the toes towards the shin as you draw the leg a little closer to the torso. Both straps can come into the left hand. Soften the left leg out. Open it up to the left. Let it be supported by your strap. Close your eyes for a couple of breaths. I find sometimes my eyes are closed a lot of the time, especially in warm up, even seated and tabletop cat cow. So just do whatever feels good to you. Firm through the core. Draw the leg up to center. Switch the straps to the right hand. Let that leg drift over to the right. Maybe hooking that left thumb in your left hip crease. Nice deep breaths. And finding that sweet spot. It might be a similar angle as the other side, or it might be quite different. One more breath here. Firm the core, draw the leg up to center, and then we'll bend that knee, find a half happy baby. Either just holding, supporting with the strap, or using the strap and your left hand to your left foot. The knee is being drawn towards the armpit, the shoulder, just off to the side there of the ribs. Down towards the earth. Last breath. We'll draw the right knee in now to meet the left. Find full happy baby. Release your strap just off to the side. You can rock if you like, if it feels good in the lower lumbar area, sacral area. And we'll extend the legs up towards the sky once more and just paddle the feet, working through those ankle joints, pointing and flexing. And then maybe find some circular motion. And the other direction. Just before we come up to seated, we'll do some gentle ab work. Bend your left knee and keep your right leg straight. Take the arms long at your sides, palms down, and you can, if you like, just work the thumbs or the hands underneath the hips a little bit, supporting your low back. Press the low back into the spine, or the low back into the mat, and then let's lift and lower that right leg. So the lengthened leg is just going to lift and lower, lower to hover, and then draw it back up. Just go about 6 times. We'll switch sides. You might link this movement with your breath. Last time this side. We'll bend the right knee. Extend the left leg now. Do the same thing on the left side. Lower that left heel to hover. Draw it back up, pressing the low spine into the mat. No rush with these, slow and controlled. That's usually more effective. Couple more. Last one. Draw both knees in towards the chest. You can wrap your arms around your shins and rock a little if you like. We're going to find a little bit of length in the spine here. So take your hands maybe to your ankles or the bottoms of your feet. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. And press, if you can, the soles of your feet into your hands. And press your feet. Yeah, feet into the hands, and the hands pull in the opposite direction. So you're using a bit of core strength, leg strength, but really finding sort of almost a tractioning of the spine here. Bring your forehead towards your knees. One more breath. And soften down. From here, we'll come up to a seat. So you can take a few rocks along your spine if it feels nice. Or you can roll over onto one side and make your way up. Just find a comfortable seat. If it feels good and you have a blanket handy, you could fold it, place it under the hips. And we'll keep our straps handy. So let's just start with a little arm flow first. We'll breathe in and reach nice and high. Bring the palms together as you exhale, lower them to the heart. And as you inhale, cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades, and then as you exhale, release the hands to the low back Interlace the fingers. We'll breathe in once more, squeezing the shoulder blades, opening through the heart, chest, and throat. And as you fold forward, breathe out. So just any amount that you want to fold forward. And if it doesn't feel good leaning forward, if it doesn't feel safe with your hands behind your back, you can just walk your hands forward. Find a forward fold, a couple breaths here. We'll rise back up, keeping the hands interlaced. Let's take them over to the right hip. So behind you over to the right hip. And then with the shoulders level, we'll just dip the right ear towards the right shoulder. And if that feels a bit much, you can just release the clasp of the hands, extend your left hand out instead. We'll bring the crown up tall again. And then take the interlaced hands, take your fists over to your left hip, or your left ear towards your left shoulder. From here, you might just find some semicircle rolls or full circle rolls with the neck, and you can release your hands just to your lap. Let's do a couple more. And then we'll bring our gaze back to neutral. Let's reach for our straps again. Take a nice wide grip. You might need to make it wider, you'll know. Just rest the hands on the floor in front of you, or just, on your knees to start. Then our inhale, we'll raise our arms up nice and slowly overhead. With our exhale, we'll just drop it back. And you might drop it all the way back. You might drop it part way, just working your way up to that. So inhaling, arms will rise back up. And exhaling, they lower in front. So just take it at your own pace, adjusting your grasp on your strap to what feels just right for you. And just lengthen movement with your breath, feeling into the shoulders. No rush with this. Let's go 2 more in each direction. Last one. Good, and then let's do our summer kayak paddle. So pretend you're holding on to a kayak paddle, adjust your grip, and then just forward paddle to begin. Right and left. As if you're paddling a canoe, a nice calm lake, maybe heading towards the sunset tonight. And then reverse paddle. Okay, and then I think we can set our strap aside for now. And we'll make our way to a tabletop position. So finding your way on all fours. And from here, feel into some cat-cows. So linking the movement with your breath, opening up, dropping the belly, opening through the heart and the throat with your inhale, and then as you exhale, rounding the spine, lifting it high, dropping the head and the tail. And if there's any other version of cat-cow or any other version of gentle spinal movement that you want to explore tonight, go ahead and do that. Really anything that feels good, creative, intuitive. And then we'll find stillness. Let's just pivot on the knees here. So pick the shins up and the feet up. Set them over to the left. And we'll bump the right hip over to the right and look over our left shoulders down to our feet. Return to center. And you just take those shins over to the right. Hips bump to the left. And then look over your right shoulder. Back to center. We're going to step the right foot forward here between the hands. So just from the knees, just take that right foot, bring it forward. Let's twist to the left. So you're to the right, ground down with your left hand, either to the mat or to a block. And then as you breathe in, reach up with the right arm, twist and look up. Hold here for another breath. Bring that right hand down to the outside of the right foot. Let's twist to the left. And you can have a block under the right hand too, if you like. Twist to the left this time. Reach that left hand up. And then replace it back to the earth. Here we'll bring the arms high, finding our crescent moon. Soften the shoulders, away from the ears, sink down into the hips. And then let's bend the right elbow and sweep the left arm underneath. Take the palms together, the backs of the hands or arms to the shoulders. So eagle arms, your version. And we'll take a little back bend if it's for you, or just look up slightly and raise the elbows. It doesn't need to be much. Let's release, unwind the arms, release the hands to the earth. Send the hips back, finding half splits. So find length in the right leg. Might feel good to point those toes up towards the ceiling, and then find some length in the spine. So we're not rounding the spine here. You can have blocks under the hands. And just fold over that front leg any amount. You can also sit right back if you like, taking your left hip to your left heel, finding your half splits from a seat. Let's return to that low lunge. Let's pop up on the back toes, lift the left knee. And then we're just going to pivot so we're facing the long left edge of our mat in a wide-legged forward fold. So take a moment, set yourself up here. You might want to narrow your stance or widen your stance. And then just release so that your spine is nice and long and you're hanging down here. Again, if you have blocks and you want a little bit of height under the hands, you can do that. You can sway a little bit or just hang out. Just let the spine be long. Release any tension in the neck. Let's walk the hands forward a couple of paces. So you're in a really wide-legged downward facing dog here. And just press forward with the hands. So press the palms, finger pads, heels of the hands into the earth. Let the head be heavy. Feel a nice opening through the shoulders. We'll walk the hands back right through the center behind the heels. So walk the fingers in the other direction. Pull with those finger pads, deepening your forward fold a little bit. Bring them back beneath the shoulders. Let's return to that low lunge facing the front. So take those right toes and pivot on the heel. Face the toes forward, walk the hands forward, bend the knee. Ground the left knee. And we're just going to come right back into our tabletop position. And we're going to do that on the other side. So this time, left foot steps forward between the hands. You can always take a double roll of your mat or put on some knee pads for some support there in the knees. We'll twist to the left this time first. So ground down with your right hand. Inhale, reach up with your left arm. Twisting. Finding nice length there between the hands, the right and the left. And then release the left hand down. We'll twist to the right. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Release it back to the earth. Let's find that crescent moon now. So raise the arms. Find a little bit more depth here in your lunge. So just really sinking the hips as much as is comfortable for you. And then we'll bend the left elbow, find eagle arms here, sweeping the right arm underneath the left, finding your version of eagle arms. Lift the elbows, and then maybe lift them a little bit more and lean back slightly, gazing up. Another nice full breath. We'll release by bringing the hands to the earth and then sending the hips back, lengthening the left leg, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Nice long spine. Hands can be up on fingertips, it can be on blocks, hips can be high, or maybe right hip comes back to right heel. Prepare to release, just come forward into that low lunge. We're going to raise that right knee now. So tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and just pivot there on that back foot. Come and face the right edge, the long right edge of your mat, finding your wide-legged forward fold. Just see how it feels here the second time around. Swaying or just hanging out here in the center. Head is heavy. We'll walk our hands over towards our right foot and ankle, maybe grasping on there, drawing your torso a little closer to your right thigh. Couple nice deep breaths here on this side. And then walk it over to the other side, left side. Let's come back to center. Take one final breath here in your wide-legged forward fold. And then we'll release back to that low lunge. So pivot so that the left toes, both toes, all 10 toes are facing the front. Bend into the left knee. You can ground your right knee. Bring your left knee back. So we'll find our tabletop pose. From here, walk the knees back just a little bit so you find yourself in a supported plank here, modified plank. So nice long spine, tailbone to crown. Just gaze forward, engage your core. Take a breath here. With your next out breath, we'll just bend the elbows and slowly lower right down to the belly. And from our bellies, we'll bring the hands just beneath the shoulders. We're going to take about 3 rolling cobras. So with our inhale, press up. With the exhale, lower down. A couple more times like that. Breathing in to rise. Use your core as well as your hands here. Exhale to lower. One more rolling cobra. Breathe in. And breathe out, soften down. Let's take half bow, half locust. So I'll just talk you through this. Let's lengthen the left arm in front. So like Superman arms, so just one arm, the left arm lengthened in front. Bend your right knee. Take your right hand and sweep it back. Maybe you grasp your ankle or the top of your foot. And then with our next inhale, we'll raise everything up. So left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm with the bind there on the right side. Half bow, half locust. One more big breath. And then slowly, with control, soften out of the pose. We'll do that on the other side. So this time, right arm lengthens in front, like Superman arm. Bend the left knee. Right hand can maybe bind there to the top of the left foot. Left hand to left foot or left ankle. As we breathe in, everything rises. Last breath in. And then soften out of the pose. Let's bring the knees wide. Press back to a child's pose. And we'll take about 6 breaths here, really softening into this one. Sighing out with your exhale, if you like. Releasing tension. One more big breath. And then let's return to our tabletop. From here, we'll tuck the toes and come up into a downward facing dog. Just make it nice and gentle. Maybe pedaling here, pressing alternate heels towards the back of your mat and heavy the head. Then let's find stillness. We'll take a couple of breaths here, coming up onto the toes with our inhale. So breathe in, rise up high onto the toes. Breathe out, press the heels back. One more time, breathe in, rise. And exhale, release the heels. Look to the front of your mat, just take some small steps. Walk your way forward, coming into ragdoll here. So done a bit of work with the hips and hamstrings. See how you feel. You can have quite a generous bend in the knees or a little bend, whatever works. Maybe swaying with cupping opposite elbows. Let's come to rest and stillness. And then lengthen the spine. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out as you fold. And then breathe in, just unwind the spine, ground down through the feet. We're coming to stand, bringing the arms overhead, tall mountain. Exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale, bring the arms high. And exhale, forward fold, nice and slow. Find that halfway lift and lengthen. Breathe in. Folding, breathing out. Bending the knees, rooting to rise here, unwinding, coming to stand in tall mountain with a big inhale. Exhaling the hands to the heart. Let's do one more like that. Breathe in, reach high. Exhale, palms together or arms wide. You can swan dive or just fold forward with the hands in prayer. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling to rise all the way to stand. Arms come high one last time. Let's exhale them to the heart. From here, we'll take a tree pose. So you can take many different variations of tree pose. If you'd like, you can have a block nearby. And we'll ground down through our left foot first. So you could bring your right toes onto the block, your heel close to your calf. Hands to prayer or rise. You could bring that foot to the calf. You could bring it to the inner left thigh. You can hold your knee. You can hold your toe. So just take the version that works for you tonight. Take one more full breath wherever you are. Soften out. Step it out a little bit. This time we'll ground through that right foot. Find your version of tree on the side. Doesn't have to be the same as the other side. Take another full breath. And just release that left foot back down. Step it out. Just heel toe the feet a little wider. Toes a bit wider than heels. Stance a little wider than hip distance. We're setting up for our yogic squat, our malasana. So you can come down to a seat, just lower the sit bones, bring the hands to the heart. You can lower to a seat on your blocks. Or you can come right to seated and come into butterfly pose as well. And you might just close the eyes, take a few breaths here. Press the elbows to the inner thighs and knees if you want. Keep that spine nice and long. And a nice full breath. We'll soften down to a seat. Just ease your way onto your bottom. We're going to soften right down onto our backs. So use your core strength just to ease your way down slowly with control. And from here, we're just going to cross left ankle over right knee, setting up for our reclined pigeon. Always an option to stay here though, too. Just sometimes pressing that knee away from you is just enough. If you want to, you can lift the knees towards you. Interlacing your fingers, drawing the right knee towards you. Fingers interlaced behind the thigh, around the shin. Or just grasping on wherever you can. Find 2 more nice full breaths. Just release the hands, but let's cross that right knee fully over the left. So right thigh over the left. And then let the knees fall to the right. If there's another version of supine twist that you prefer, you can go ahead and take that. And from here, we're aiming to find this twist from the navel down. So shoulder blades remain grounded to your mat. You could look to the left over your left arm. Another full breath. Release with a sigh if you like. And bring the gaze back up towards the sky. Use the core strength. Draw the knees up, uncross them. We'll set that right ankle over the left knee. Press the right knee away from you to begin, or just stay right here. You can remain as you are. Or take reclined pigeon. Take another breath in and sigh it out if you like. And then right thigh crosses over left, or take any other version you'd like for your supine twist to the left. Soften the knees to the left. Gaze to the right, ground the shoulder blades. Deep breaths. Last breath here. Unwind the spine by bringing the gaze back to neutral first, and then the knees back up. Uncross them. From here, if you have a block or a pillow, we're going to just place it underneath the hips. Block, cushion, and anything to find a little bit of elevation there. And then you can stay like this in supported bridge, or you can take the soles of the feet together and find your reclined butterfly pose. See how that feels. And we'll hold here for about 6 breaths or so. Our last posture before our Shavasana. If that feels really good right where you are, then you can stay where you are if you like. Otherwise, you can make your way into Shavasana. Traditional, I guess. Just any way that you'd like your Shavasana tonight, with any props that you'd like. So take time to set yourself up for comfort. Adjust your lighting if you like. When you're ready, closing down the eyes, softening across the brow, around the eyes, the temples, the hairline, whole scalp, the cheeks, the jaw, the throat, the shoulders. Allow softness to pass through your entire body, to your fingertips and your toes. Maybe letting the fingers just curl gently in, letting the feet splay open a little bit. Breathing is soft, relaxed, natural. Giving yourself this opportunity at the end of your practice to be in balance, to feel the effects of your practice in your mind and body. with gentleness, begin to release your Shavasana. Take some deeper breaths. And some small movements to start. Tonight, you just feel like closing your practice right where you are. You're welcome to do that. If you think you'd like to close your practice in a seated posture, there's no rush. Maybe rolling over to one side when you're ready, taking a couple of breaths, and making your way up. Take a breath here to close if you like, really filling the lungs and reaching the arms high overhead. Bringing the palms together and to soften them towards the heart. Take this time here, final breath or two before we close, to go inward, maybe connect with a positive thought or your intention. Thank you all so much for joining tonight, for sharing your energy, your time, and your practice. I hope going forward your week is a good one, and many moments of peace included. Namaste.